Greetings, Patriots, Star Seas Lightworkers, and of course our very brave military. Welcome to 1776 United, and we're in a worldwide and galactic revolution. I'm Alex West. Today is October the 9th. And I tried to play this a couple of times, but it's a Wi-Fi problem. It's coming in and out. But I'm going to have you listen to something here that solidifies what we all been debating or assuming. All right, have a listen.
The Declaration of Authority and Summons that was put forward by President Trump, especially for all of us in the Crown Corporation of Canada, right? For all of you in the chat, we just saw Northern Alberta, Quebec, all across the board, you name it, Ontario, Okanagan, BC, fantastic. Hope you get to the ostrich farms. Katie Pacific will be back on here live tomorrow. We're going to have an update from the farm because it's still going on. Okay, so Okanagan, you know where you are. You're very close. For the international audience, it's like a stone's throw based on a map, the Okanagan of BC, Kelowna area, and getting right back up to Edgewood, BC. But let me read this out to you because this is very powerful, very informative, and it is in front of everybody's face. So the Declaration of Authority and Summons by Commander-in-Chief Trump, by the authority vested in the President of the United States for America as Commander-in-Chief under Article 2 of the Constitution, and by the immutable laws of common law sovereignty. Notice common law sovereignty. It is hereby declared, number one, lawful command under the Uniform Code of Military Justice. Every flag officer of the United States Armed Forces, by oath, by law, is bound to obey the lawful orders of the Commander-in-Chief. The UCMJ affirms that all generals and admirals remain subject to such orders, including the command to assemble. So he's saying, you took the oath, we are operating on the UCMJ, I am your Commander-in-Chief, I call you to come, you better come running, right? Just like the old school, I ask you to jump, and on the way up you're saying how high. Number two, so important, sovereign right under common law. Says, from ancient precedent to modern practice, the head of a sovereign republic or kingdom holds the prerogative to summon his military leaders for counsel, recognition of authority, and the reordering of the nation's defense. This right is both inherent and incontestable. Let that one sink in. Number three, and you all take a picture of it as it's up on the screen, summons to assembly. Therefore, by order of, pay attention to these words, His Excellency of the Western Kingdom. So here we are, Canada, the 51st state, Trump crowned King of the British Commonwealth on September 18th, is the head of the world, did the sword dance that we saw in 2017 capitulation tour in Saudi Arabia. He is the head of the world. When the royal carriage, U.S. flag flown over Windsor Castle, and then they played YMCA right there, which is the Gitmo song. It says, therefore, by order of His Excellency, the Western Kingdom and President of the United States for America, all flag officers are hereby summoned to Virginia on September 30, 2025 today. This assembly shall formally recognize and reaffirm allegiance to the Constitutional Republic of the United States of America. So notice, President of the United States for America, His Excellency of the Western Kingdom, and Constitutional Republic of the United States of America. And Secretary Rory Hegsa said today, the Republic. He emphasized the Republic, not the corporation. Number four, restoration of sovereignty. Upon this recognition, all military outposts and operations abroad that were established under the British Commonwealth, so here we have Australia, New Zealand, the United Kingdom, Ireland, Scotland, parts of South Africa, Canada, or foreign dominion, shall be lawfully closed or transferred, securing America's independence in full. One continental army, the continental army of all of North America here. Number five, we're going to be talking about that today. Binding duty. This order is issued in fulfillment of the President's sacred duty to uphold the Constitution, protect the people, and preserve the sovereignty of the Republic. All officers are bound by oath, honor, and law to obey. So for all of you, my goodness, this is epic, what you are just...
So there it is, executive order. It's been all written out and signed by
Whether you're in Oklahoma,
President Trump, Commander-in-Chief of the Western Alliance is Greenland, Canada, United States Republic, Scotland, Ireland, South Africa, Australia, and New Zealand, from what I understand. So we will all be holding the U.S. New currency. As we all know, a fiat currency has no backing by gold. It has actually now been formally announced that it is only worth 3 cents on the world stage. The American dollar, fiat dollar, is only worth 3 cents on the world stage. Excuse me. So we are going to have that replaced by the new gold-backed treasury note, and of course there will be some kind of coin that will also be a token, and that will be that's metals that will probably represent our Western Kingdom as we know it. So everything I've been talking about for the last couple 3 years since I first got into all this, and since actually when Trump come on to the scene in 2016, he has been mentioning all this. And when he mentions something, it means it's already been done. It's already been solidified. Now, there's many things. So welcome to the kingdom of Western countries. Excuse me for my voice. Okay, so now we have something else that I want to throw out there. Let's just have a look here. Okay, that's not that there. And what I'm going to do is get into some things here. Now, the reason why these scammers are being able to do whatever they're doing, I got figured out now, and they're being monitored or surveilled by the Global Alliance, is because this is all about the exposure. The collateral damage I expect anybody that has been scammed by them and their money taken, they will be caught. The scammers will be caught, and the repatriate of your monies will be returned to you. This is what I'm assuming now. Now, this is just my opinion, but I believe that they're letting this go because of they need to have these, scammers and other degenerates, expose themselves using us as bait, and then, of course, that incriminates them. They're all going to be rounded up eventually. Now, remember, mandatory is not a law. Required is not a law. Mandate is not a law. Requested is not a law. Ordered is not a law. Ordinance is not a law. Decree is not a law. Compulsory is not a law. Okay? These are very, very important things to understand or to follow, right? Now, people have been asking me certain things pertaining to, what do we do with the money? What do we invest in? Silver just passed $50, okay? And I watched it climb incredible points, pennies turning into nickels, turning into dimes all morning. And it was up $2.50 on, so it went up to actually almost $52. But now it's kind of leveled itself out and it's back down to 50-50 or whatever it is. And, there's still time. Every time it backs off and goes down again, there's still time to go in. And, people have been asking me, what do we do? How do we buy and all this other stuff? I say, you know what? Dump it all in there. Now, there is something, and the reason why I'm saying, and what I have been saying, is now being told by President Trump. And I want you to have a listen here. Hopefully I can get this thing on. Okay, here it is here.
I've been about this for a long time, but now it's real. It's happening right before our eyes. The banks, they've lied to you for decades. They've printed fake money, stolen your hard-earned wealth, and now they're ready to shut the doors on the American people, on you. Because of the N.zealand reset, everything is changing. If you're still trusting those corrupt banks with your money, you're putting yourself and your family at risk. They could freeze your funds. They could lock you out. I don't want to see hardworking Americans like you suffer because of their greed. This is a moment of truth. You need to protect yourself.
Banks will shut down. They are going to shut down. There's no doubt about it. Because of, number one, the silver doing what it's doing, the gold doing what it's doing, and moving up very aggressively, and because that is the failure of the fiat dollar. Now, all these other currencies around the planet, okay, that are not gold back, are tied to the petrodollar. They're being manipulated by the petrodollar. And now the truth has come out that the petrodollar is only worth 3 cents. Does this smell like a disaster ready to happen? It's like the train ready, doing full locomotive speed with all this cars behind it, full of gold or full of fiat currency, ready to hit the brick wall or ready to go right off the bridge with everything in it. That's like how this is going to get played out. And that fiat dollar, you're going to wake up one morning and all the fiat dollar that you have in your pocket that you've been saving, and the banks could be closed. Now, this is, I didn't want to say anything because I didn't know for sure, but this is now coming from the mouth of the commander-in-chief. And that to me, is alarming enough. We have to take notice in this. Now, I want you to hear something else, and I think I got time for it, is... Here we go here.
Why is Earth in $315 trillion debt if we already have all the resources? Why do we owe money on a planet that gives us everything? Earth gives us air to breathe, water to drink, sunlight for energy, land to grow food, forests, oceans, minerals, and more wealth than any human could ever count. Yet somehow we're told the world is in over $315 trillion of debt. But who do we owe? We don't owe the Earth. We don't owe the trees, the rain, the soil, or the sun. We owe other people, or more accurately, a system built by people that turned the planet's abundance into debt. Here's how the illusion works. Governments borrow money from central banks. Central banks create that money, often out of nothing. Corporations borrow to expand. Consumers borrow to survive. And as this debt grows, so does the illusion of scarcity. But the truth is, there's no shortage of land, food, or energy. What we have is a shortage of access, and that's by design. Because the modern economy doesn't just run on money, it runs on debt. Debt creates control. It turns nations into clients, workers into servants, and wealth into a pyramid, where those at the top own what everyone else must rent, borrow, or chase forever. And here's where it gets worse. The more money we print, the less it's worth. That's inflation. So even if you work harder, save more, and spend less, your money buys you less every year. But prices keep going up, and so does your rent, your food, your energy bill, and your stress. All while those at the top, they don't work for money. They own land, gold, companies, data, water, and energy. They own what money can't print. So ask yourself, if the world is rich in resources, why are most people poor? The answer isn't in nature, it's in design. We're living in a world where value is artificial and debt is engineered. And most people never question it. Because from the moment you're born, you're taught to obey the rules of a game you didn't choose.
There you have it. So, to finish off, this here is my straw man. As you can see, it's got a registry number right beside it, right? That's my straw man. This here is my sovereign. Okay? Straw man, put together by the system. This me, I declare I'm a straw man. Or I'm a sovereign man. 2 IDs, 2 identifications, 2 lives. I would think that everybody should go out, get themselves some cards, make themselves a photograph, in passport size, put your names in the way upper and lowercase, and start working to get yourself out of the matrix by cutting all your credit cards, by getting all your money out of the bank, putting it somewhere, preferably into silver, because it's not too late. It's still not too late. Even if it was $100, it's still not too late, because I believe silver will be the price of what gold is right now. It's only logical because the globalists have inverted everything, right? Okay, I'm overdue here, but I'm going to sign off, and I will try to get onto another video here either today or tomorrow. Have a nice day. God bless. Love and light.